I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I quit.
Most movies use chaos as a punchline. They give you the messes, the meltdowns, the montages, then roll credits and call it catharsis. But you know what's wild? Bad Moms pretends to be a raunchy comedy about stressed out mothers finally snapping, when the deeper story is about what happens the moment you stop performing the version of yourself everyone else depends on, and you discover whether they actually really loved you in the first place.
Where is she?
Aren't you gonna make us breakfast?
No.
What are we gonna eat?
This guy is really smart. You can make your own breakfast.
Amy isn't just exhausted because motherhood is hard. She's exhausted because she's become the operating system of her entire household. Clean the house, pack the lunches, organize the carpools, fix the schedules, absorb the emotional fallout. She's the invisible infrastructure that keeps everyone else upright. But the moment she stops, suddenly the people closest to her don't see a human being hitting her limit. They see a broken machine. They call her selfish, immature, irresponsible, like she violated some unspoken contract they never had to sign, but were happy to enforce.
This is all your fault. Why did you mess with Gwendolyn James? You are so selfish, Mom. You are so selfish, and it frigging sucks, okay?
Amy's crisis isn't that her family takes her for granted. It's that none of them know who she is without the work she performs. Her husband mistakes her stability for devotion. Her kids mistake her effort for obligation. And the PTA moms, they don't see her at all. They see an empty seat they expect her to fill because everyone around Amy has learned to love the version of her that keeps their world running, not the person who's been disappearing inside it.
We're killing ourselves trying to be perfect, and it's making us insane.
In this day and age, it's impossible to be a good mom.
Let's be bad moms. Yes, to bad moms.
Bad
Woo!
And then the movie takes this left turn into a dreamlike, gold-washed visual style that feels almost unreal. The rebellion isn't filmed like slapstick, it's captured in slow bursts like fragments of a home movie you only half remember. The grocery store run, the party, the wild night out, they all work together like the highlight reel where they finally get permission to live.
I got this feeling on the summer day when you were gone. I crashed my car into the bridge. I don't care.
That's not random. That's the film saying, this is what freedom looks like when you've spent years living as someone else's support beam. The camera stops treating Amy like a background process and starts treating her like the main character in her own memories.
Different road, I'm in the Milky Way. You want me down on earth, but I am up in space. You're so damn hard.
Because underneath the jokes, every person in this movie is trapped under a different flavor of conditional love. Amy believes she's lovable only when she's useful. Kiki's husband doesn't want a partner, he wants a live-in assistant. Carla pretends she doesn't care because caring is where she got hurt last time. And Gwendolyn isn't cruel, she's calibrated. Control is the only language she was ever taught. Everyone is holding their breath, and the only time they feel alive is when they stop performing.
I only work for you 3 days a week. If you want me to work more, then you should pay me to do that.
I'm just having lunch with my new friends.
Who's watching the kids?
Rosie.
Isn't that your job?
Will we see you there?
No.
This movie acts like the conflict is moms versus the PTA, the bake sales, the fundraisers, the petty power plays, but the real war is quieter and way more terrifying. It's the moment you realize the people who claim to love you might only love you the way you make their life easier. Because when Amy stops doing everything, for the first time, the people around her have to face the emptiness of their own effort. Her kids bump into the reality that breakfast doesn't magically appear and schedules don't fix themselves. Her husband's fantasy collapses because without her constant labor propping it up, there's nothing underneath. Even her rivals start to unravel once the performance culture they built begins to crack and they're left alone with themselves.
I don't know what's been going on with you. I mean, with your weird outbursts and your terrible style, but it ends now, okay? I run this school. Then no one takes a class or kicks a ball or plays a clarinet without my say-so.
So here's the jab. Maybe Bad Moms isn't actually a story about failing mothers at all. Maybe it's about people who have been trained to mistake obligation for love. Because when her children finally say they're sorry, actually sorry, it's not because they want their lunches back or their permission slip signed. It's because for the first time they see her, not as the infrastructure, not as a system, but as a person.
I'm sorry for acting so crazy about the whole soccer thing. It's just soccer, right?
Why is he touching the oven?
You said you weren't gonna cook for us anymore, so I taught myself how to cook. I gotta go do my homework.
Hey, who are you?
So maybe Bad Moms pretends to be a comedy about ditching responsibility, but underneath the glow and the chaos, it's a story about finally demanding a kind of love you don't have to earn. Because love isn't proven by what someone demands of you, it's revealed by who still sees you when you stop performing. Have you ever had someone in your life like that? I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Getch Takes, where we look at story moments that hit deeper than they first look. I'm Spidey Joe 47 from Getch Studios, and if my take resonated with you, then stick around, I've got plenty more takes coming.